So once you show me your notes and your sketch, you're gonna get a piece of clay like this. And what you're gonna do with this piece of clay is you are going to cut it in half. Okay? You're gonna put one of the half aside. And you're gonna take this and make your base. Okay? And here's how you make your patty cake. So you just kind of use the palm of your hand and the board. Okay? You just kind of, pat it down. And you want to kind of flip it once in a while so it doesn't get stuck to the board. Now, the thickness of your base, I want it to be, as thick as your index finger. This one's a little bit thicker, so I'm going to keep patting it down with the palm of my hand. Okay. Try to do even pressure. Okay, don't press too hard on one side and light on the other, because the thickness is going to change. Okay, make sure you keep the pressure even all the way around so it's kind of flat. Okay, flat, consistent thickness. Okay, that's what I want. So once you have the base, okay, once you have the base about the thickness of your index finger or your pinky, I will allow the pinky width of your pinky for the base. Okay, so that's good. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take one of these cups. Now, based on how big you want your mug to be, you can use bigger base like this one or a smaller base. Okay, so I'm gonna make mine a little bit bigger, so I'm gonna use the bottom of this cup. Okay, now you are not just pressing this on there. Okay, I'm gonna use the bottom of this cup, just lightly put it on top of the patty cake that I just made. I'm gonna use the knife. I'm gonna actually use the needle tool. Okay, the needle tool to lightly draw the circle, trace the circle. Now, if you want to make a mug that's not traditionally cylinder, you can make your base be square, triangle, whatever mug you want it to be, whatever base you want it to be. Okay, once I traced my circle with the needle tool, I'm going to take my knife, cut out the base. Okay, so I cut it out. There you go, I have a nice base. Now, to make coil, I'm going to take the extra clay that's left from making the base, and I'm going to cut a little bit from this. So I would do about 1/3 at a time. I'm going to cut about 1/3, and I'm going to add it to the extra clay left from cutting the base. I'm going to squeeze it out into like a worm shape. Okay, worm form. First, like this, squeeze it. Okay, and then I'm gonna roll it. Now, when you're rolling out coil, okay, it's important that you keep your fingers flat, and you use the finger part, not your palm. Okay, use your fingers, but they have to be kept flat. It cannot be, a different, angle like this. It has to be flat. And you want to start from the middle and then out. And I'm putting very light pressure because this is already a wet clay. You don't need to put a lot of pressure to make it all round. Okay, and I'm just gonna keep doing that. And look how I'm rolling it. I'm rolling it kind of fast. So I'm starting from the center, out, center, out. Okay. Now the coil thickness, I want it to be as thick as your index finger. Okay, so it's a little bit thick, so I'm going to roll it out a little bit more. Now, consistent pressure is very important again, but this is your first time rolling out coil, and happens you put more pressure on the one side than the other, and this happens. One got really thin, and then thick, and thin. Okay, when this happens, do not crumple it back up. Okay. What you do is, you just fold it in half like this. Fold it in half. And then you twist. Okay? Twist it. Twist it like, one of those twist donuts. Yeah? and then you just re-roll it. Okay, so when you accidentally make it too thin, you fold it in half, twist it, and then re-roll it. Okay, now I'm gonna try to make this into the thickness that I like real quick. Okay, see how I'm using my fingers, flat fingers, not putting a lot of pressure. Okay, rolling it fast. Okay, if you don't roll it fast, if you go slow, what happens is that if you roll it too slow, it gets flat. It's not round anymore. So that's why rolling it kind of fast is important. Okay, now this is the thickness that I like. Okay, I like to keep it as thick as my thumb because once you put it on there, you're gonna eventually have to smooth it out inside and outside, on the inside and outside. So I like to keep it thick. Okay, so when I smooth it out, it will eventually turn into the thickness of my pinky. Okay, so I'm going to take my coil that's as thick as my thumb. I'm going to take it and make a donut ring. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put it right on the edge of the patty cake that I have. Okay, right on the edge. And then I'm gonna lay it on top like this. I put it right on the edge. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my knife. Okay, I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do with the ring. Is that I'm gonna cut from the top and also the bottom ring. So complete cut. Okay, so that when I take this extra clay off, when I put the ring together, this ring together, it's a perfect donut ring that fits on top of my base. Okay, now we are not winding it up and up until you run out of the coil. That's because you're not gonna have an even top. Okay, with this complete donut ring, okay, technique, you have an even top. You don't have a wobbly top. Okay, so that's why doing one donut ring at a time is important. Okay, so once you have a donut ring, okay, obviously you're gonna scratch the end of the donut ring. Okay, and then I'm gonna put some slip on it, and then attach it together like this. And then again, I'm going to scratch this and scratch the donut ring. I'm gonna scratch my patty cake right here, the perfect patty cake, right on the edge. Okay, then I'm gonna put some more slip on the donut ring. Put it on top. And if you keep it kind of thick, you don't have to put as many donut rings because I'm gonna kind of squeeze it like how I'm doing right now to make it a little bit taller. You see? See how I'm squeezing it a little bit so it can be a little bit taller? Don't squeeze too much so that it's too thin. Okay? Just kind of squeezing it so that it can be a little bit taller. It's not too thin because I made it as thick as my thumb. So that's why I like to make it as thick as my thumb. So when I squeeze it up like this, it's not so thin. It's perfect width. Okay? Perfect pinky width. Okay? And it's not too thin that it's gonna wobble. Okay? So keeping your coil in, as thick as your thumb might be the better choice. Okay? Now, once you have the ring on there with it scored and slipped, okay, you have to smooth it out for it to be functional. Okay? Now, if you have really long fingernail, it might be hard to smooth out the inside of using your finger. Okay? But if you don't, you can use your finger. Okay? Index finger, to smooth out the inside. It's easiest when you have a finger that doesn't have a lot of long fingernail. Okay, but if you do have a fingernail, like I do right now, I should have cut my nails. Okay, you can use any of the round-ended wooden tool. Okay, round-ended wooden tool. You can take a little bit of the clay. Okay, a little bit of the clay from the coil, push it down to the base, and smooth it out like that. Okay. And you can go sideways like this to completely smooth it. Okay? Now, yes, it's important that you smooth out every single coil because in order for it to be functional, it has to be smooth all the way on the inside. Okay? So, it's as easy as this. You just push the clay down like this, then you go sideways and then kind of smooth it out. Okay? And if your clay is thick, as you can see, I'm pushing some of the clay down, okay? So that, so your clay is thick, it doesn't matter if you push a little bit of clay down because, you know, you made your coil so thick and it's not gonna wobble, okay? It's gonna be sturdy. That's why you wanna keep your coil thick. And there you go, I smoothed the inside out. Okay, I'm gonna take my thumb and smooth it a little bit more. The same thing with the outside. I completely smoothed it on the inside, okay? And then I'm going to use my thumb for the outside. I'm just gonna smooth it. Or you can use the wooden tool to smooth the outside, okay? So you need to smooth the inside and the outside, one coil at a time. Now, some people want to get the coils done really fast all the way up to where they want it and then smooth it. That's not how it works, okay? You have to smooth the one coil at a time because if you get too high and your finger doesn't like really get in there, okay? So make sure you guys do one coil at a time. Smooth one coil at a time, okay? So there you go. Okay, inside and out. I'm gonna smooth out the outside in a little bit. Okay, so once you get the one donut ring done, grab some more clay. I'm gonna cut 1/3 again. I'm gonna cut 1/3. Grab the extra clay that I have left over and roll out my next coil, and then make another donut ring. Okay, and then put it on. So like a general mug shouldn't take you more than 4 donut ring. Okay, 4 donut rings should be perfect size for like a regular mug. If you want it taller, you can put more donut ring, but 4 donut rings should be enough to make like a regular sized mug. Okay, so there you go. You just make more donut ring, you put it on, and then you smooth it out. Okay, same thing with the handle. If you want to make a handle, you make coil again. Okay, make the coil, shape it, and then cut it into the handle. Okay, and then you just score and slip it onto the mug. Okay, and there you go. The cleanup process is the same as the first project. You just take everything and put it back to the shelves. Okay, all right, and that's how you get started on your mug. Okay, all right.